I'm here. My name is Matthew Evans with Home Care Assistance. I'm a home care liaison in the Virginia offices. I'm here with Mike Harrigan, who is the founder and CEO of the Braining Center, and he's here to do a presentation, a demonstration on power braining. So talking about brain health and what to do to keep your cognitive faculties in order and have some important long enriched lives from that. So we're going to go over a few questions and he will give his answers on these on brain health. So the first question, Mike, is what are some of the main causes of cognitive impairment, and are there different approaches to fixing each one? So are the activities in power braining or any other cognitive programs specific to one type of ailment, dementia, Alzheimer's, etc.?
Okay, well, first, thanks for having me here, Matthew. This is awesome. So the first part of the question, are there different causes of cognitive decline or impairment? And the answer is a resounding yes. The brain is tremendously complex, and there could be many, many different causes. Some could be medical, and some could be more age-related, just lack of use. So things like diabetes, health, things like concussions, damage to the ears, damage to the eyes, all of these things can cause impairment to cognition because essentially everything is connected. All of your senses, your body, your brain, everything is connected. It's all been developing as one system, not separate brain and body, one system since before you were born, and they've been developing together. Wow. And they've been interacting with each other. So when there's damage to something, whether it be your eyes, your ears, one of your other senses, it is going to cause a change and potentially an impairment. Okay. So
with that said, if you, for instance, and the old saying was, you get good at one thing and you can get good at others. So, you get good at the violin and you can get great at baseball. And so those things might help each other even though they seem very different. So in your program, I myself have seen adding two things together. So can you tell me two of the main things that you add in power braining? So like the exercise and mental, give me an example of that.
Okay, sure. So it's first good to kind of just pound down on this and really understand that it is all connected, and that when we want to train our brains, we're really training our bodies at the same time. Anything we do with our brains affects our bodies. Anything we do to our bodies affects our brains. So we're training both together anyway. We're affecting both anyway. Okay. So the idea is that we need to challenge the brain and the body the same way we might in real life. As an example, if you are in athletics, you might have to process information that you see while you're listening to certain things, while you're also able to think about something on a higher level, about what play it is, what you're supposed to do. And at the same time, you got to keep your heart rate down. You got to stay composed so you don't make a mistake. Sure. So all these things are happening all the time. So an example of what you're talking about, in power braining specifically, we will train the various senses, because in the end of the day, that's how the brain changes. Your brain changes based on the information it receives. It receives information from our organs and from our senses. So we're going to challenge the brain to enhance these various senses, whether it's auditory processing or visual processing, or enhancing the connection between our limbs and our brain, our proprioceptive system. So that interchange between those senses and the brain becomes more concrete, becomes more clear, becomes faster and more effective, right? So an example, to get back to your question, an example of stacking, sensory stacking as we call it, training would be where we might challenge you to be moving your body based on visual commands and auditory commands at the same time. So you might be seeing something telling you how to move your legs, you might be hearing something telling you how to move your arms, and you have to process this at the same time and move accordingly. So you have to coordinate that connection between your visual, your auditory, and your motor system, and do it faster. Because if we don't challenge those systems, then they're going to get lazy.
Sure.
And but the more we can, the better they become.
Wow. Okay. And so, in terms of the average person, what can they do throughout their days to maintain brain health? So if they can attend this program or something like it, that would be terrific. What are some things throughout the day that someone could do to stimulate their mind?
All right.
Tips and tricks.
Sure. So start with the global, right? And really a nice mnemonic device that we have is called NEST. And actually it has multiple S's, N-E-S-S-T. And you really could add a third S. But these are really the pillars of brain health. And if you're faulty in one of these, it may or may not really impact you. But you really need to address all of these if you want optimal outcomes, right? So NEST, N is for nutrition. What you put in your body is going to affect you, right? That's going to be the cause of potentially diabetes, and that's going to there's a direct correlation between diabetes or high blood sugar even and cognitive performance, a direct correlation. So nutrition. E is for exercise, and there are different types of exercises that are beneficial in different ways. As recent studies just showed that balance training, working on literally your physical balance, doesn't just enhance balance, but it also enhances spatial cognition, your ability to be able to see what something would look like from a different perspective, or gauge how fast objects are moving in front of you. So that's exercise, and cardiovascular exercise, balance exercise, leg strength, various types of exercise. S, right? And like I said, there's multiple S's. Sleep is critical. If you have difficulty sleeping, if you wake up your partner with loud snoring, or if you wake yourself up with snoring, get it addressed. If you have apnea, you're critical. You're cutting yourself off at the knees.
It's very important.
It has to be addressed.
Yeah.
That's a third of your life, and it's when you're bringing in oxygen. Oxygen is the most important thing to your brain and your body.
So you got the nutrition, the exercise, the sleep.
Stress management is the second S. You need to
four.
really do some things like meditation and practice controlled breathing to control your stress levels.
Sure.
At the same time, socialization, that third S, is really important. Getting out, getting involved, doing things. That helps challenge your brain. If your brain isn't challenged, your brain will start to diminish. So those are the S's. And then T is train your brain. Really challenge your brain in different ways. Whether it's, and you've heard the common things like learn a new language or an instrument, but even things where you might practice in the morning balancing on one foot and counting by threes.
Oh, okay.
Forcing yourself to be thinking consciously about the numbers. So you can't be thinking about the balancing, forcing your proprioceptive system, forcing your balance, all the balance systems to work together and work more autonomously.
Wow.
In that autonomic system. So you naturally get a sense of balance. So you can still be thinking on a conscious level.
Wow. So just to cap it off, we have the nutrition, the exercise, the sleep, the stress management,
And socialization.
and then training your brain. So staying active, stimulating, doing things, use your left hand. Mike, thanks a lot for being here with me today and being with us. And I hope you all got some great use out of this. And home care assistance and power braining, these are all tools to help you enrich your life and age in place. Thanks. Have a great day.
Cheers.